Chapter 3, Raised by Rage. It wasn't some grand act of heroism. I wasn't brave. I was 10 years old, terrified, shaking. I did the only thing that made sense in that moment. I ran toward the monster, toward my father. I clawed at his hair, screaming for him to stop hitting my mother, my small fists trembling with panic. It wasn't strength that moved me, it was desperation. The kind of instinct you can't ignore when the person who gave you life is lying half naked on the floor, trying to hold on to hers. He turned. His face was blood red, bloated with rage, his chest heaving. I was sure I was next, and yet, there I stood, holding a tuft of his thinning hair in my trembling hand, heart pounding like a war drum in my chest. Then she moved. My mother, bleeding and broken, somehow pulled herself up from the floor. She slipped past him, her moves frantic, panicked. She got in between us, on her knees, shielding me with her body as if she could stop a man twice her size. She begged. Tears streaked down her cheeks, smudging the mascara she painted on hours earlier to look presentable for a man who didn't deserve her beauty, her loyalty, or her forgiveness. I had never seen her beg like that, not for herself, but for me. She would have taken every punch. And then, something strange happened. My father's expression began to shift, slowly, almost indistinguishable. His jaw clenched, the red drained from his face. It was as if something about watching his wife plead for the safety of their child shook something loose in him, some distant memory of what it meant to feel. He didn't speak. He didn't apologize. He just stepped aside and let us leave. Like it had all been a bad dream and he just snapped out of it. The walls, once suffocating, felt like they took a step back. The air thinned just enough for us to breathe. And with what little strength she had left, my mother led me to my room. We climbed into my small bed, her body still shaking, still bleeding, her arms wrapped around me like a shield made of love and exhaustion. We prayed. Her voice was barely a whisper, but every word carried the weight of 1,000 bruises. It wasn't the kind of prayer you hear in church. It was the kind that comes from somewhere deeper, from the pit where pain and hope live side by side. I listened to her speak and thought, one day, I want to sound like that. Brave, even when it hurts. Steady, even when you're crumbling. We held each other like war survivors, waiting for the shelling to start again. But it wasn't that night I remember most. It was the morning after. I woke up and she was gone. Panic set in before I even opened my eyes fully. I shot up, listening, searching for signs, and then I heard it. Bacon sizzling in the kitchen. The sound of normal. But nothing about what happened was normal. I looked down at my pillow, and that's when I saw it. Blood. Not dry. Still wet. It was soaked to the fabric, the memory of her head resting next to mine, made real by the crimson stain she left behind. My stomach churned. My heart broke in a new, quieter way. She bled beside me, never once complained. That pillow became a marker, a symbol of everything I couldn't unsee. It was the exact moment childhood ended. No fireworks, no birthday cake, just a cot and pillowcase soaked in the evidence of what we'd survived. If there was any lingering doubt, it was gone now. True fear wasn't in ghost stories or monsters in closets. It lived in the next room with a last name that matched mine. Mother and I never spoke of that night again. We didn't have to. It lived in the silence between us, in the way she touched my face when I was scared, and the way I stood a little taller when he walked in the room. It bonded us, not because we were safe, but because we were not.
Montanha, valle, bosque e mar, flora e fauna, paisajes sin fin.